Hey everyone, What If Fan here. Now moving on to another exciting part of What If transmigrated into One Piece and became a Marine. You can find the fanfic title and the original author's name on my Patreon page. Make sure to check it out and show them some love. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. Alright, let's jump into it. Chapter 111, Avalon Island. New World. GA, officially Marine Grand Line Avalon Branch, is a marine base located in New World. It was established on Avalon Island and commanded by Vice Admiral Tsuru. Avalon Island is a circular-shaped island with a rugged coastline featuring several tall rock pillars. The marine base is located in the middle of the island covered by forest. The only way in is through the gate that's reinforced with steel. After all, the marine base is in New World and they have to be ready to face any kind of situation that arises. Many pirates caught in the New World were locked up here temporarily before they are shifted to Impel Down. Blaze and his unit reached the base around morning. As soon as he walked down from the ship, he met a familiar face, Guion, who came to receive him. "Oh, Guion. Long time no see, how are you doing?" Blaze smiled. It's been nearly 2 years since they saw each other. He noticed major changes in Guion, whether it's her appearance, personality, or strength. He could tell, she became strong and also capable of using haki. Then her personality, unlike before, Guion looked mature, charming, and firm. "Good," Guion cheerfully replied and commented. "As soon as you came back, you have gone and done that, taking down speed pirates. You haven't changed at all. Your actions shocked many people, pirates and marines, alike. Since I learned the observation haki myself, I could tell, you are very strong. Aren't you praising me too much?" Blaze and Guion chatted for a few minutes before coming back to a serious topic. It felt great to chat with someone he was familiar with. "Where's the auction taking place?" Blaze asked. "Sorry, I didn't know as I was busy with training." "Let's go and meet Tsuru-san, she will fill you in on the details." "Sure." Blaze followed Guion to the base that consisted of several buildings and large construction, which is the place of operation. Regis and Kuina accompanied him while Rosinante stayed on the ship. The only unaccustomed thing is, the place is filled with women. He hardly saw any male beings. Well, it's Tsuru-san's commanding base, after all. He knew Vice Admiral Tsuru commands a crew that consisted entirely of female Marines. This place seems to be the home and training place for the female Marines. "She is?" Guion asked, looking at Kuina. When she looked at Kuina, she saw her younger self. "She's a Marine trainee under my command. Her talent in the sword is very good. Give her some advice when you have free time." Blaze responded and then looked at Kuina. "Kuina, she's Guion. She and I were in the same training camp. She's good at sword and also strong." Kuina looked at Guion in admiration. If even Blaze praises her skills, then she had to be terrifyingly good. After coming in contact with so many strong women, Kuina discarded the opinion of women can't become strong. Right now, her heart is filled with determination to get strong. Meeting Guion, she wants to ask many things that bothered her mind from childhood. Glancing at Kuina, Guion responded, "Sure. Come and meet in the evening." "Yes." After that, Blaze and Guion went to Vice Admiral Tsuru's office while Regis and Kuina remained outside. Inside, Tsuru-san could be seen sitting in her chair and leisurely drank her tea with a cake was placed on her table. Her face had no expression, like always. Blaze respects her. After all, she's a veteran Marine from the same generation as Garp and Sengoku and one of the most prominent Marines in the world who was respected by many. Blaze sensed her haki, it's very strong. It can't be compared to Admiral's, but she's definitely strong for her age. With knowledge and experience, not many people can outsmart her. No wonder that even Doflamingo respects her. "Vice Admiral Tsuru, how are you going?" Waving her, she spoke. Stop with the formalities, take a seat. You too, Gion. Want some cake? No, Gion shook her head. I will take it. Saying it, Blaze accepted the cake and swallowed whole. It's good. Suru had a strange expression as she didn't expect him to react that way. Gion looked at him and mentally thought, Suru-san likes her cake very much. It was only for a second. Suru then reverted to her normal demeanor as she encountered similar things when she was with Garp. So, she directly went to the topic of discussion, auction. Doflamingo was auctioning a rare devil fruit this time. From the intelligence report, we confirmed it as GOL fruit, a paramecia type. I don't know why Doflamingo was willing to give away such a powerful devil fruit. From my understanding of him, he's up to something as he doesn't lack money. To get the world noble's attention? Gion said after pondering. It's possible, as I heard many nobles are interested in the fruit. Suru-san, do you know where the auction is going to taking place? The location hasn't been confirmed yet, but it should be in New World. The auction is the best palace to take down Doflamingo, but the problem is whether he will appear in person. Blaze doubts it. After all, in the original timeline, the fruit was stolen by criminals sent by Tesoro. They couldn't have done it under Doflamingo's watch. Blaze knew Doflamingo would become a warlord of the sea before attacking Dressrosa. If he's not wrong, it will soon happen after the auction incident. Once he became warlord, it would be troublesome to take him down without solid reason. Of course, warlord titles didn't matter to Blaze, but he doesn't want to get scolded by Sengoku. The best time he could think of to confront Doflamingo is when he attacks Dressrosa. What do you think we should do, Suru-san? Blaze asked. It's up to you. But, you have to bear in mind that pirates, it's not the same as catching pirates. You can't just barge into the auction and do whatever you want. So think clearly before you act. I will notify you once I get the information on where they are going to conduct the auction. Blaze nodded his head and stood up. I will take my leave then. Chapter 112, Auction. Blaze came out of Suru's office while Gion followed him. Blaze looked at her and asked, Gion, are you free? I want to stretch some muscles. Gion smiled. She was meaning to ask him, but he saved the trouble. Sure. She wanted to see and personally experience how strong the current Blaze is. Both of them, along with Regis and Kuina, went towards the south side of Avalon Island that's designated for training. They were not alone, some female soldiers were already training there. But, as soon as they met Gion, they respectfully greeted her, Rear Admiral Gion, while sending a cursory glance at Blaze. Reaching the center of the field, Gion turned and faced him while Blaze smiled. Meanwhile, the female soldiers in the field glanced at them in curiosity. Are they going to spar? I don't know how strong that young Marine is, but Rear Admiral Gion is strong. She recently learned hockey and even took down a pirate with a bounty of 300 million berries. Since they are of the same age group, they should be friends. Maybe they came from the same training camp. Let's see how the fight goes. The female soldiers discussed among themselves and observed. Ready? Blaze asked while Gion nodded. As soon as she responded, Blaze's eyes suddenly changed into that of a penetrating stare, alarming Gion. She had a feeling she's going to lose before even being able to make the first move. For a moment there was a silence. Blaze said nothing, but some kind of intense aura released from his body and spread in all directions. It's not the Conqueror's hockey, but a powerful intent. Facing the aura, the female soldiers nearly dropped to their knees, quivering with fear, while some find themselves struggling to breathe. But, Gion's different. During her time in New World, she fought many people, so his aura didn't deter her in any way, but she knew the feeling is real. It was as if she's facing some kind of beast. Gion's hand reached to her hip and unsheathed the blade. She pointed the sharp tip of the blade at Blaze and faced his momentum head-on without any fear. Suddenly, Blaze charged forward, making the first move. Gion followed. She didn't wait for Blaze to attack. She gripped her blade in both hands and slashed. Swoosh! The thrust fueled the air pressure into something far more grand and destructive, creating a pressurized wind blade. It cut through everything and arrived before Blaze. As for Blaze, he didn't dodge the attack. He simply hardened his left hand with Tekai and smashed the wind blade away. It couldn't even leave a scratch on him. It's because his Tekai has already reached the advanced level. His hardening is equal to advanced level Haki. After years of training, Blaze can control any parts of his body as he wants. Arriving before Gion, he kicked, hardening his legs. The latter parried the attack with the blade. The collision produced a booming sound and created a minor shockwave. The force behind the kick flung Gion far away as she didn't expect the attack would be so powerful without using any Haki. But what she didn't know is Blaze already restrained his strength well. Otherwise, she would have been injured heavily by a single strike. After all, his physical strength has crossed the 60-bar limit. After that, Blaze used his Haki against Gion. Haki grows facing a stronger opponent. Battling him is an opportunity for Gion, so he fought her at equal strength. Gion also understood this, so she utilized the chance well and practiced her Haki. In between, Blaze also gave her hints on how to improve her attacks. They stopped the fight after an hour as Gion exhausted her Haki and stamina. She benefited greatly from fighting Blaze, whose Haki reached the level of admirals. I will stay on the ship. Notify me once you get the information about the auction location. Saying this, Blaze left the training field with Regis while Kuina stayed to talk with Gion. 2 days passed. Finally, the Marines finally got the news. The auction is going to be held in West Blue in 4 days. When Blaze heard it, he nearly cursed. He felt like he's led around by the nose by Doflamingo. First, he leaked the news that the auction will be held somewhere in New World and then changed it to the 4 Blues at the last moment. I am going to beat him hard when I meet him, Blaze thought in his heart. The West Blue is very chaotic, also known for having a strong underworld scene due to the presence of 5 influential mafia organizations known collectively as the 5 Families of the West. It's a good place for Doflamingo to play as he wishes. He should have thought of this sooner. Right now, he's in the New World and had to travel all the way. Even though it's frustrating, there's no other way, so Blaze and his unit left to West Blue as soon as they got the news while Gion tagged along. After 3 days of constant sailing, they reached the West Blue while most of the soldiers on the ship were fatigued working day and night. The good thing is, only Blaze and Gion planned to visit the auction place. Docking the ship at the nearby Marine Bay, they left for the auction that's going to be held tomorrow. He knew the auction will be disrupted and criminals sent by Tesoro will steal the devil fruit. But what Blaze wants to know is, who's going to conduct the auction? It will definitely be an elite officer of the Don Quixote family. The next day, Blaze and Gion reached the island where the auction is going to take place. They spotted many criminals and underworld people in the street. But what both of them didn't expect is they were denied entry into the auction as they failed to show the invite. Gion asked, "What should we do?" "We wait," Blaze spoke, as their main goal isn't the devil fruit but Don Quixote pirates. Of course, Blaze planned on seizing the devil fruit too. Chapter 113, Gold Fruit. Blaze and Gion waited outside the auction and gazed at the people going inside. Most of them are criminals, but there are also some pirates. From the Doflamingo side, the one who came is Treble, one of the top 3 officers of the Don Quixote pirates. His disheveled and bedraggled appearance disgusted Blaze. A minute after Treble entered the building, he saw another familiar figure in the crowd, Mad Treasure. Possibly hired by Tesoro to steal the devil fruit. After an hour, the auction started. Gion spoke. Doflamingo didn't come. She came to collect information on Doflamingo, but the latter didn't appear but just send one of his officers. Yes. Blaze nonchalantly replied and took a bite of the apple he brought in a nearby store. It tasted so good, completely different from the apples on Earth. Looking at his carefree appearance, Gion shook her head. His character hasn't changed a bit. Don't worry, even if Doflamingo didn't come, we can capture Treble. And the devil fruit too. Blaze spoke. You plan to seize the devil fruit? Gion asked. You're a devil fruit user, why do you need a devil fruit? I can gift it to someone in my unit. To his answer, Guillaume just rolled her eyes at him. Blaze knew Doflamingo isn't intending on selling the fruit but using it as bait to lure the underworld people in one place. He's plotting something. Possibly it's related to him becoming the warlord of the sea and overthrowing Dressrosa. But what he won't anticipate is Tesoro stealing the devil fruit under his nose. It's also the reason for Blaze's casualness, as he knew chaos soon erupt. That's when he will strike. 15 minutes passed. A loud noise came from inside the auction building. In a matter of seconds, everything changed as a huge commotion broke out. Guillaume drew her sword and spoke, "What's happening?" "Well, it's our cue to enter the fray." Just as he finished his words, the building before them was destroyed by a powerful attack and two figures came out. They are none other than Treble and Mad Treasure. At the same time, countless criminals hired by Tesoro launched their attacks, making the place extremely chaotic. As for the devil fruit, it was stolen by Mad Treasure. Treble was enraged as he attacked Mad Treasure madly. Nah, who hired you to steal the devil fruit? Tell me. Treble, using his devil fruit ability, bound huge debris they destroyed and slung it at Mad Treasure, who easily repelled the attack by wrapping the arms with his chain. The debris deflected in its path and directly moved towards Blaze and Guillaume. Blaze just waved his hands and the air around him whirled, sweeping the debris away. "Noisy!" Blaze muttered. His conqueror's hockey erupted while invisible ripples went in all directions, covering the entire island. The intense pressure cracked the ground below him and the nearby buildings. Foam came out of everyone's mouth who was weak-willed, and they all hit the ground with audible thuds, losing their consciousness. Whether it's civilians or criminals, none of them were spared as Blaze didn't restrain his conqueror's hockey. He didn't want to. As for Treble and Mad Treasure, they were shoved back by Blaze's presence. Blaze mumbled, "Haushiku really comes in handy at times like this." When Guillaume heard his mumble, she got the urge to beat him up. She knew Blaze does things in a flashy way, but this is beyond shocking. Silence pervaded the entire island. Looking at all the unconscious figures, Guillaume shook her head. Just when she thought they encountered trouble, Blaze solved it in a second. Even though these criminals are not strong, there were nearly 300 of them. Two Marines can't fight them all, as they were in the middle of the town. It would endanger the innocent civilians. She had to admit, with Blaze around, she didn't have to worry about anything. Color of the Supreme King. Treble and Mad Treasure stopped their fights and stared at Blaze in shock. Who is he? They wondered in their heart. Blaze uttered, "Obediently surrender or get beaten up." "Nah, are you a Marine?" Treble asked while guiding the mucus to attack at any moment. "You disgust me," Blaze said and stretched his left hand. Golden flames surged from his hand and blazed towards Treble, emitting high heat. The latter attempted to stop the attack with mucus, but the flames were extremely destructive. He couldn't extinguish them no matter how much he tried. Since the mucus is flammable, in a matter of seconds they were vaporized. Then, Treble's skinny figure came into the view, shocking everyone. Guillaume had a nauseated look on her face. Treble screamed in pain, unable to stop the flames from burning his body even with hockey. It wasn't a pleasant experience, to feel your skin and flesh being burned under extreme heat. Just as Treble thought he's going to die, Blaze doused the flames with a thought, barely leaving the latter alive. Then, his eyes turned to Mad Treasure, who stood in place instead of running. Treasure shuddered when Blaze's eyes locked onto him. "Where's the devil fruit?" Treasure didn't reply, but chains emerged from his body and wrapped his entire body. Seeing this, Blaze smiled. "Really?" The next second, Blaze utilized sorrow and appeared before Treasure. Before the latter could react, he punched at him. The strike landed squarely on Treasure's chest, shattering the chains and crushing him completely. His knees hit the ground while he coughed a mouthful of blood. Treasure's eyes finally revealed fear. The punch destroyed him inside out. Now, he couldn't even stand. He knew he met his match today. "Devil fruit?" Blaze asked again. This time Treasure didn't try to put a hard front. He obediently handed over the devil fruit that he hid in his sleeve. Gold fruit, or Gora Gora no Mi. It was dark yellow fruit, the size of a palm, and had swirling patterns all over them. Good stuff. Blaze pocketed the fruit inside his coat and said, "Sod off, if I ever see you again your ending won't be different from him." He pointed his finger at Treble, who lay on the ground in a sorry state. Treasure picked his weakened body with all his willpower and fled from the place. He swore in his heart that he shouldn't cross paths with the terrifying Marine in his life. Meanwhile, Guillaume called the base and told them to bring a battleship. There are a lot of criminals here, even with Marine soldiers it's going to be a tiring job to apprehend everyone. Chapter 114, Doflamingo's Plan. 2 hours passed. The Marine unit came and cleared the criminals and underworld people who were already knocked unconscious by Blaze. It's going to be chaotic at headquarters, as most of the underworld people have world noble connections and some of them even have no criminals' records. Blaze knew they will be released once the celestial dragons learn of this, and he can't do anything about that, at least for now. So, Sengoku's going to have a hard time the next few days. Guillaume looked at Treble, whose entire skinny body is scorched black, and shook her head. She doesn't know why Blaze didn't let the soldiers arrest Treble. From her understanding of him, it wasn't anything good. Yes, Blaze didn't plan on leaving Treble alive. He knew the latter will be released once Doflamingo becomes the warlord of the sea, so it's better to kill him. The only reason why he hasn't killed him yet is to know when Doflamingo's plan on striking the Dressrosa. He needs to know the exact timing. Though Marines knew his plot, they don't know when it will happen. Besides, they can't forever guard the kingdom considering the present situation of the New World. Even Sengoku's helpless about this matter, as the number of Marine soldiers in his hands is limited. Furthermore, once Doflamingo becomes the warlord of the sea, even Marines can't interfere. But the problem is, lately, Doflamingo hasn't shown his face, so his location is currently unknown. So, even if Blaze wants to strike, he can't do anything without knowing his location. So, he had to extract the information from Treble's mouth. "Where's Doflamingo?" Blaze slapped Treble in the face and directly asked. "You are nothing but world government's dog, you won't be able to do anything to Doffy as he already planned everything." Treble snickered. Hearing it, Blaze simply smiled and spoke, "Looks like you won't speak without suffering." He then extended his hand and a small golden flame danced at the tip of his index finger as if it was alive. Soon, under his control, the flame bobbed while its shape changed into a small insect. To Treble's horror, the fire insect fluttered its wings and drilled into his left hand. As soon as it happened, terrifying pain hit his head as if his insides are being eaten alive. Under Blaze's command, the insect slowly burned the latter's tissues and reached the bone area. Not even a few seconds passed, but Treble rolled on the ground while his entire body convulsed in extreme pain. Unable to bear it any longer, he screamed, "No more! I will tell you everything, please stop." Blaze stopped the actions with a snap of his finger and spoke, "Speak." He didn't expect the latter's heart to be so weak. Without omitting, Treble disclosed everything he knew. Blaze and Guillaume's faces changed as they listened to the information. This is bad, they thought in their heart. Because according to Treble, Doflamingo and his crew are already in Dressrosa. Their plan will commence once Doflamingo becomes the warlord. And the worst thing is, the latter has met the world Nobel a week before and had already made a deal with them. If everything goes according to his plan, in 1 or 2 days the world government will announce him as one of the warlords of the sea. Blaze didn't expect Doflamingo to move so quickly. What he doesn't know is, as soon as Doflamingo found Rosinante as a Marine, he knew his plans are already leaked, so he hastened the plan and decided to overthrow the kingdom ahead of time. He's just waiting for the world government's announcement. Call Doflamingo. Blaze spoke while Treble did as he asked. Puruperu, Puruperu. Catcha. Treble. What's happening there? Doflamingo asked in an angry voice. Just recently he got the news that all the Doflamingo pirates and underworld people who attended the auction were arrested. Where's the devil fruit? Doffy. Treble groaned in pain. What happened? Noticing something's wrong with his tone, Doflamingo asked. Before Treble could answer, Blaze picked the Den Mushy and answered, Doflamingo, thanks for the devil fruit. It's been so long, do you still remember me? You. The den mushy in Blaze's hand changed as veins protruded on its head. Clearly, Doflamingo recognized him. Looks like you haven't forgotten about me. What happened to Treble? Doflamingo asked, calming down. Well, he hasn't died yet but will be soon, as his partner Virgo is all alone up there. Blaze humorously responded. A few seconds passed but there was only silence from the other end. So, Blaze continued. I thought you would come looking for me after the last encounter. What happened? Got scared? Suddenly Doflamingo laughed. Fa-fa-few-few, I know all about you. Born in an ordinary family, captured as a chore boy to a pirate ship and then sold as a slave. You somehow fought your way out and destroyed the pirates who killed your parents. And, finally, you joined the Marines. The interesting thing is, you have achieved all this within a short few years. The reason for your strength, is it your devil fruit or something else? Fa-fa-few-few. Is he an idiot? I already told him my details because I am not afraid of him. Blaze thought in his heart and turned to Guillaume and asked. Don't you feel his laughter is kinda creepy? Guillaume laughed, covering her mouth. She didn't expect Blaze to be so bold to tease Doflamingo, who's called the Heavenly Demon by others. Hearing his words, Doflamingo once again got mad. Unfazed by his words, Blaze spoke. Doflamingo, your partner said you're in Dressrosa. Wait there, I will come in a few days, then we will discuss more over a meal. Saying, he directly ended the call and looked at Treble, who trembled under his gaze. Hey, wait. Blaze didn't let him speak. He pointed his index finger while a golden beam shot and pierced Treble's forehead, directly killing him. The sudden turn of events stunned Guillaume. She glared at Blaze. Why did you kill him? He holds valuable information. Don't be naive. He's nothing but garbage. Before you can extract any information from him, he will either be freed or killed. He's better off dead. Chapter 115, Exchange Function. Blaze and Guillaume didn't stay any longer on the island. After handing the things to the local marine captain, they sailed back to the New World. On the ship, Blaze checked his status panel. Defeating Mad Treasure and Treble gave him 0.2 free attribute points, which are very pitiful. It raised his free attribute points from 5.8 to 6.0. Name, Blaze Hunt. Occupation, Marine. Constitution, 62.1. Devil Fruit, 52.4. Hockey, 51.5. Free attribute point, 6.0. Next, Blaze plan on rising his Devil Fruit attribute to the 60 bar. Once he gets enough free attribute points, it would surely enhance his strength to the next level. Just as he was thinking over the next course of action, the system notification rang in his mind and a new note appeared in the system panel. Ding! The system found host is in possession of a devil fruit. Do you want to unlock the exchange function? Yes/no. Yes. Blaze shouted in his mind and a new row of text appeared. Exchange function unlocked. A new tab labeled Exchange was added to the system panel. Once Blaze clicked it, he saw the information. Exchange function, a precious material of equal value can be exchanged for similar material. For example, a Paramecia devil fruit for another Paramecia devil fruit. Exchangeable item, Gora Gora no Mi, Paramecia type. Note, only items that are deemed as precious by the system are eligible for exchange. Blaze was excited when he read the information. He quickly clicked the Gora Gora no Mi. As soon as he did, a list of items appeared before his eyes. Along with the list, there are some conditions. He can only exchange devil fruits that aren't eaten by others. For example, he can't exchange gold fruit for Doflamingo's string fruit. Blaze saw many devil fruits in the list: smooth fruit, kilo no Mi, spike fruit, net fruit, smelt fruit, cage fruit, spring fruit, door fruit, slash fruit, noko no Mi, mushroom, and many other devil fruits. He's familiar with kilo no Mi and noko no Mi as he came in contact with both of these devil fruit users. Since he can't use another devil fruit, this function is useless for him, but he can gift it to his trusted allies. Kawina, Guion, or Regis. Blaze isn't in a hurry, he will exchange for a suitable fruit after finishing Don Quixote pirates as they hold many precious devil fruits. Peru Peru, Peru Peru. Blaze's thoughts were interrupted by the ringing of his den mushi. Noticing the call is from Sengoku, he directly answered. Sengoku-san. Blaze, I said you can't directly capture the people attending the auction, didn't you listen to my words? Sengoku's helpless voice came from the other side. Sengoku-san, I only acted after they began to fight among themselves. You can't blame me for that. Anyway, we can't hold these people who have connections with the world nobles. Sengoku spoke. Blaze understood the latter is telling him the captured people will be released soon. I don't care about that, I have done my part. Okay. Did you get the devil fruit? Yes. But, I'm planning on keeping it. You can subtract my merit points for it. Blaze said. Whatever. If you are going to give it to another Marine, I don't mind. But, let me know before you do that. Sengoku spoke while Blaze happily agreed. Blaze then reported the information he extracted from Treble. Sengoku-san, if we don't do something I'm afraid the entire kingdom will be doomed. Sengoku sighed. It's too late. The world government already recruited Doflamingo as one of the warlords. It will be announced tomorrow. What? That fast? Even Blaze was shocked. So, what should we do? Noticing the silence, he continued. Sengoku-san, don't tell me you are planning on doing nothing? There's nothing we can do. Warlords are in alliance with the world government and Marines, you can't directly attack them without any reason. What I am saying is, I can't provide you any direct support. It's up to you to decide what to do. Hearing the words, Blaze smiled. Though Sengoku didn't say anything openly, he silently agreed for him to do as he wishes. The only downside is, he's on his own. Sengoku-san, leave everything to me. Blaze ended the phone call and called Guion and recounted the conversation he had with Sengoku. What do you plan to do? We are going to destroy Don Quixote pirates before the world government announces the news to the public. Blaze chuckled. How are you going to do that? We are in 4 Blue, it will take us at least 2 days to reach Dressrosa. Guion asked in puzzlement. It's not a problem, we can reach at dusk if we go by my way. That is? You will see in a few minutes. Gather strong Marines, preferably ones who can use hockey. Blaze said while Guion agreed. Blaze then called Regis and Rosinante and told them about the plan. As for Kawina, he isn't going to take her this time as there will be no one to watch her. In no time, Guion gathered 20-some Marine soldiers who can use basic level hockey. As for Blaze, he directly used his devil fruit ability to create a huge dragon. Everyone was shocked to see his power except for Regis and Rosinante. Even Guion is no exception. When did you learn to control your devil fruit ability to such level? Get on! Everyone climbed onto the dragon while Blaze commanded it to fly. In no time, it soared and disappeared from the Marine soldiers' view who are still on the ship. On the golden dragon's back, Guion asked. How are we going to attack? Even though you are strong, you can't take down everyone on the Don Quixote pirates by yourself as most of them are devil fruit users. Of course we aren't fighting alone. We can use the kingdom's strength to our advantage as Dressrosa isn't weak on its own. Yes. Why didn't I think of it? Guion's eyes glowed. Chapter 116, King Riku and Viola. Dressrosa is one of the 20 kingdoms that were responsible for founding the world government after the defeat of the Great Kingdom. Originally, it was ruled by Don Quixote family, but as they moved to Marigios, the Riku family replaced them. Under their rule, the kingdom flourished while the dwarves were freed. After some time, the country became known for its unparalleled peace. As sun began to set, Blaze and his group saw the outline of Dressrosa that looked beautiful surrounded by huge rock formations. The luxurious, Spanish-styled buildings amazed everyone. To not alert the Don Quixote pirates, Blaze cancelled the dragon form when they were some distance away from the Dressrosa. It doesn't mean he's afraid of Doflamingo, he just doesn't want the upcoming battle to impact the ordinary civilians. If not for that, he would have directly acted. Furthermore, the number of devil fruit users in Don Quixote Pirates is high. Especially, pica and sugar need to be handled carefully as their devil fruit powers are quite dangerous. In fact, Blaze plans to take care of them before confronting Doflamingo. For that, he needs King Riku's help. So, Blaze, Dion, Regis, and Rocinante headed towards the King's Plateau, which is a gigantic, crown-shaped landmark situated in the middle of Dressrosa. The royal palace is located at its top. As soon as they reached the King's Plateau, they were stopped and questioned by the guards of Dressrosa. Blaze directly stated his intention and showed his marine identity. The guards were skeptical as it's not an everyday occurrence for the Marines to visit the kingdom, so they directly notified their superior. In no time, a huge muscular man with a thick dark-pointed beard and disproportionately small legs approached them. Blaze knew this man, Tank Lepanto, who's very loyal to King Riku and also the commander of Dressrosa's self-defense army. In the original timeline, he joined as a gladiator at the Corrida Coliseum to compete for the Mara Mara no Mi. What are the Marines doing in the peaceful kingdom of Dressrosa? Lepanto questioned. I am Rear Admiral Blaze, I want to meet King Riku. Blaze directly spoke. Hearing his words, Lepanto was a little angry, but before he could lash out, Blaze continued. It concerns the safety of your kingdom, so it's better if you don't waste any time. And, I am not joking. Lepanto suppressed his anger as he could tell Blaze is serious, so he quickly glanced at Dion, Regis, and Rocinante, who are behind Blaze, and uttered, Follow me. It didn't take long for them to reach the royal palace following Lepanto. Blaze saw King Riku in the large luxurious hall along with some other members. The one who caught his attention is Viola, the current crown princess of the Dressrosa and younger sister of Scarlet, who now lives with Kairos. In the original timeline, Viola is slender, well-endowed, and light olive-skinned woman of average height with a curvaceous figure. But the current her looked different. She wore a long dress with a black top and light and frilly bottom, while her hair was cut to her chin and side-parted with a pink hairband. She may look weak, but her devil fruit ability is very useful. If Blaze gets her help, he will be able to easily locate the Don Quixote pirates. What brings the Marines to Dressrosa? King Riku asked in a doubtful tone. Unlike the other kingdoms, Dressrosa didn't have much contact with the world government. Hello, King Riku. Let me first introduce myself. I am Blaze, Marine Headquarters Rear Admiral. And this is Rear Admiral Dion, Regis, and Rocinante. I believe you heard about the Don Quixote pirates before, right? King Riku frowned when he heard the name Don Quixote, but eventually nodded his head. Yes. Rocinante, explain it. Blaze gestured while Rocinante stepped forward. My name is Don Quixote Rocinante and my brother's name is Don Quixote Doflamingo. Rocinante revealed Doflamingo's plan without hiding anything. Hearing the news, King Riku didn't lose his composure upon Rocinante's revelation but looked at his daughter, Viola, who ate the glare fruit and can see through any lies. When Viola authenticated the latter's words, Riku took a deep breath and was silent for a minute. Does the world government send you all to stop Doflamingo? World government? No. Haven't you heard? The world government will announce Doflamingo as one of the warlords tomorrow, then he will become our ally. Blaze shook his head. Then why are you helping us? Let's say we have some enmity and Rocinante here also wants to stop his brother from doing any more evil. Blaze chuckled. Though Riku knows the truth, he still couldn't accept the fact. But, if they confronted the Don Quixote pirates head-on, he can't imagine the destruction it may cause to the people. Can't we settle this peacefully? King Riku, I think you still don't get Doflamingo's purpose. He doesn't care about money or anything. He wants to become the king of Dressrosa and reclaim his status as world noble. Guion told the cold truth. But, the people. King Riku rubbed his temples in frustration. Don't worry, King Riku, I will take care of Doflamingo and his crew. I just need your help to stop some low-level members and your daughter's help. You are Princess Viola, right? Help me locate the Doflamingo's hideout. Blaze spoke and showed her the wanted posters of Don Quixote pirates. He couldn't find their whereabouts with his observation hockey or devil fruit power, meaning they are hiding somewhere underground or concealed by a devil fruit power. Viola gazed at King Riku, who nodded his head in approval. She then used the devil fruit power by putting her hands next to the eyes while forming circles out of her index and thumb finger, like glasses. Clairvoyance. This aspect of her fruit allows Viola to send out her sight in all directions in a 4,000 kilometers radius like a bird. There was complete silence. Nearly 10 minutes passed, but Viola still couldn't find anyone suspicious. I searched the entire Dressrosa and didn't find anyone in the wanted posters. Blaze understood she wasn't using her devil fruit effectively like in the original series, so he helped her with some words and ideas. Hearing it, Viola's face brightened and she once again used her devil fruit power. This time, she combined two of her abilities, seeing through solid objects and long distances. Not even a minute passed before she suddenly shouted, "I found them!" Chapter 117, Don Quixote Pirates. Some kilometers behind Flower Hill, Doflamingo and his crew were hiding inside a small hill that's altered using Pika's stone fruit ability. No wonder Blaze couldn't sense their heat signatures, the stone blocked it. "Can you see who are all with Doflamingo?" Guion asked and placed all the wanted papers on the floor. Viola confirmed that everyone in the wanted poster is there, apart from Treble, who's already dead. "Guion, I am going to confront them head on. I want you and others to protect the civilians from getting harmed." Blaze spoke, itching for a fight. There are a lot of devil fruit users besides Doflamingo, but will they be able to harm him? He doubts it. Considering his current strength, only Doflamingo can barely fight him. Even so, he plans on taking out Sugar and Pika before confronting Doflamingo, as their devil fruit abilities are troublesome. "Are you sure?" Guion asked back rhetorically. "Piece of cake." Blaze shrugged and turned to King Riku. "I hope you gather some of your best men and relocate the people near that area." Knowing the severity of the situation, Riku didn't say anything and directly commanded Lepanto to gather their best men. "Guion, you cooperate with the kingdom force and don't let any main officers of Don Quixote pirates escape. Right now, the entire Dressrosa is under marine surveillance," as Blaze spread the net as soon as he arrived here with the 20 marine soldiers who came with him. After issuing the commands, Blaze looked at the small hill Viola pointed before. Right now, he needs to find their individual positions before attacking. Taking a deep breath, Blaze pressed his right hand on the ground and closed his eyes. His body released a heat wave that traveled via ground in a straight line towards the position Don Quixote pirates are hiding. In a matter of seconds, his heat wave reached the location and flashed the information back to him. He memorized their heat signatures and had a surprised look on his face. Because as soon as his heat wave swept the place, Doflamingo noticed it with his keen observation hockey. "Impressive," Blaze mentally commented. If he's not wrong, Doflamingo's hockey reached the level of Yonko commanders. Meanwhile, Doflamingo stood up from his seat and frowned. It was just for a second, but he felt it. In fact, it's not Doflamingo's style to hide underground, but Blaze's recent deeds made him wary. Especially after the latter defeated the Speed Pirates. How could he not be worried when he personally knew how strong Speed is? Speed is a monster in human skin, but even such a strong man was defeated by that marine. After the call today, Doflamingo knew Blaze's next target is him. He also found his brother Rosinante is with him. "What happened, Doffy?" Pika asked in a high-pitched voice. "Someone just observed us. I think it's that marine. He's in Dressrosa," Doflamingo calmly uttered and squinted his eyes. It's beyond his expectation that Blaze would come after him so soon. He planned everything thoroughly, but the only anomaly is Blaze. It annoys him. That marine is targeting us particularly. First, he killed Virgo, then Treble, now he's coming after us. We have to take care of him, Diamante stated. "Doffy, you don't have to worry. It doesn't matter how many marines come, I will take care of them," Pika haughtily declared. "Get ready for battle." Meanwhile, Blaze dispersed his ability and rose to his feet. Since Doflamingo discovered his existence, it's time for him to attack. Otherwise, the situation may spiral out of control. Guion, Doflamingo noticed us. I am going to attack, you gather the others and surround the area. Saying this, Blaze used sorrow and disappeared from everyone's view. Is he going to attack the Don Quixote pirates alone? It's not a wise decision, he can at least wait for our men to gather. King Riku voiced his thoughts. Regis slightly chuckled, King Riku, you should be worried about the residents of Dressrosa. If Blaze-san doesn't restrain his strength well, it will very well be the end of this island. His words stumped King Riku and Viola as they didn't understand the meaning behind his sentence. Blaze's figure rapidly approached the hill Doflamingo was in. Just as he was a kilometer away, he stretched his hand and fired a golden beam that charged towards the hill. Bang! The golden beam drilled its way in and exploded when it reached the core. The explosion fragmented the small hill to sands so that it won't harm the civilians nearby. As soon as the hill was destroyed, Pika's figure crashed into the ground and coughed a mouthful of blood. As for the other members of Don Quixote pirates, they were forcibly sent out using stone fruit powers. Blaze landed next to Pika while his right feet pressed ladder's face firmly to the ground. But Pika is quick enough to coat his face with hockey. Looking at him, Blaze spoke. If you try to use your devil fruit, then I won't show any mercy. Then, he looked at the Don Quixote pirates before him. Diamante, Lao Ji, Senior Pinks, Giala, Gladius, and Mach stood behind Doflamingo. As for Sugar, Young Dellinger, Baby 5 and Buffalo stood at the back. Doflamingo, we finally met. You have a good bunch of devil users besides you. Is that the reason for your confidence? Blaze spoke while I scanned the pirates. All their information flashed in his eyes. Diamante, an elite officer like Pika and Treble. He ate Hira Hira no Mi, Ripple fruit, and was also proficient in both types of hockey. Next, Don Quixote army officers. Mach he's the user of Tun no Mi. Senior Pinks, the user of Sway no Mi, Swim fruit. Lao Ji, he's a master of a martial arts style known as the Gyo-ken. Despite his age, he's a powerful fighter. Giala, a devil user who ate the art fruit. Gladius, who ate the pop fruit and was proficient in firearms. Lastly, Sugar, who ate the Hobi no Mi, is extremely dangerous, but she's very weak like Baby 5 and Buffalo. Like in the series, Doflamingo draped a flamboyant-style light pink feather coat. He's also very tall, standing close to 10 in height. Doflamingo performed his unique laugh and spoke, "Fu-fu-few-few. I guess the Marines didn't send any support since you have come alone. You are indeed strong, but you can't fight us all alone. And I am well prepared for your arrival." Just as Doflamingo finished his speech, Pika, who's beneath Blaze's feet, utilized his devil fruit ability despite the warning and submerged into the earth. Blaze, who had already warned, erupted with full strength while golden flames flared around him as he stomped his right leg against the ground. Boom! Flames of extreme temperature melted the ground, and at the same time, the flames exploded, generating a sea of flames that incinerated everything below Blaze's feet. As the attack was concentrated on a single point, it penetrated the ground and vaporized everything in its way. Everything happened in an instant as even Doflamingo failed to react to Blaze's strike. Don Quixote pirates were shocked by the power displayed by him as they saw a huge void in the ground of 1 meter in diameter, like an abyss with no end. As for Pika, he's of course erased from the face of this world. Doflamingo's face turned unsightly. Blaze shook his head and shrugged. Why does none of your subordinates listen to me? He would have lived if he had heeded my warning. So, Doflamingo, what next? Yes, you said something about being prepared for my arrival. Show me. He excitedly asked. Chapter 118, Blaze vs. Doflamingo. Doflamingo indeed prepared for Blaze's arrival, but he didn't expect the latter would come to Dressrosa so soon. And the core part of his plan is Pika and Sugar. But now, Pika is already dead. Right now, his only choice is to confront Blaze head-on. Doflamingo and others on his side looked at Blaze, who hovered above the huge void in the ground. They were ready to attack at any moment. Doflamingo acted first. The fingers on both his hands moved while unseen strings assaulted Blaze from all directions. Meanwhile, the other members of Don Quixote Pirates too charged at him. Blaze didn't dodge Doflamingo's strings, as he wants to test how durable they are. The next second, the strings coated with hockey bound his legs and arms tightly. The strings are really tough, but... Blaze mused. It's not strong enough to bind him. Anyone with hockey above advanced level can break it with little effort. With a little bit of strength, the strings that restrained him were shredded into pieces. At that moment, a fist packed with power banged his face, forcing Blaze to tilt his head to the right. The punch came from Mach Weiss, who ate the Tun-Tun fruit. Well, compared to the Kilo fruit developed by Luke of Speed Pirates, it's nothing, as the attack didn't even tickle him. At the same time, several inflating bullets fired by Gladius using the firing mechanism installed on his arms struck Blaze's body, triggering a devastating explosion. The series of attacks stirred the dust and debris around, clouding everyone's view. As for Blaze, he floated in mid-air unharmed. With a thought, a golden spherical bubble wrapped his right arm, and Blaze reappeared before Mach Weiss and punched the latter. Bang! The punch triggered a huge explosion and gave rise to a sea of flames that completely engulfed Mach Weiss. The latter was smashed far away while his entire body was scorched black. Whether he's dead or alive, no one knows. Finishing him off, Blaze landed few feet away from the Don Quixote pirates, who all stared at him vigilantly. They could tell the man before them was powerful, extremely powerful, as their all-out attacks didn't even leave a scratch on him. Blaze smirked and thought, it's time to get rid of the small fries. His eyes flashed red, while an overwhelming momentum erupted from him and sent ripples in all directions. Everything came to a standstill. Blaze's hockey affected the surrounding, the ground below him cracked, while the buildings and rocks shuddered under intense pressure. As if provoked by something, Doflamingo's Conqueror's hockey burst forth on its own and crashed against Blaze's hockey. Boom! The powerful collision directly knocked Sugar, Dellinger, Baby 5, and Buffalo, whose will aren't powerful, unconscious. As for other Don Quixote pirates, they were tossed in the air and hurled away. Even some unlucky citizens of Dressrosa who are nearby dropped to the ground unconscious. It's better now, Blaze uttered, face straight and serious. Doflamingo, are you ready? Saying this, Blaze's entire body flared in golden flames as if a sun deity has descended to the mortal world. Golden bolts of lightning sparkled around him, and the next moment, his figure blurred and swooshed in front of Doflamingo before sending a high-speed kick that split the air itself. The latter swiftly coated his arms with hockey and blocked the attack. Bang! Doflamingo was sent back a notable distance, failing to resist the power behind Blaze's attack. Landing on his feet, he slid a few meters before stopping, then looked at the scorched hands, unconsciously wincing from the pain. Doflamingo could tell Blaze didn't use any hockey, but still, the brute force from the latter broke his hockey defense. He didn't expect his physical strength to be so powerful. Suddenly, his eyes flashed red. From his observation hockey, he sensed Blaze's figure rapidly advancing towards him. Wasting no time, he wrapped his feet with strings, and hockey, he kicked. Arriving before Doflamingo, Blaze threw a kick of his own, imbuing it with hockey. Bang! Waves of hockey went off into the atmosphere, golden and pink sparks whipping and resonating together upon their brief collision. The sheer power caused a turbulent shockwave that dispersed in all directions, and the earth surrounding them couldn't hold well, leaving a crater with Doflamingo and Blaze at its center. All the citizens in the Dressrosa felt the tremor beneath their feet, making them flee their home, fearing it's an earthquake. Guion, Rosinante, Regis, and others who are appeasing and moving the residents to a safer place looked at the collision in the sky. Clash of the Supreme Kings, Guion muttered. King Riku, Violet, and other higher-ups of Dressrosa were dumbstruck by the intense battle happening somewhere away. Back to the battle, Blaze and Doflamingo exchanged dozens of kicks. While Blaze remained completely unharmed, Doflamingo was riddled with bruises. As Doflamingo is someone who specializes in a kick-based style of combat, Blaze also only used his legs in the battle. It's fun this way. What amazes him is Doflamingo's control over his devil fruit ability. It's extraordinary, precise, and powerful. Though the latter's haki hadn't reached the level of admirals, he balances it with his string fruit that attained the level of admirals. Still, Doflamingo felt powerless against Blaze, who's completely beyond his league. He could tell the latter is playing with him. It angered him further. How could he not be? Just as Blaze prepared to strike again, someone grabbed his legs. It's Senior Pink, who sneaked upon him with his swim fruit. Before he could smash the latter's face, the ground he stood on began to ripple and flutter, causing him to lose his footing. He knew its Diamante's power. All the conscious Don Quixote pirates charged at him. Gladius fired several inflating bullets at him while Giala tossed the thought clouds at him using her devil fruit. He also sensed Lao Ji coming at him from behind. Annoying. Blaze muttered and took a deep breath. Boom! With him as the center, a massive explosion happened that in turn drove a heat wave of high temperature in all directions, blazing anything in its path. Doflamingo frowned and leaped back into the distance, avoiding Blaze's heat wave. As for others, they are not lucky, as they all suffered the full brunt of his attack. Only Senior Pink escaped unscathed as he used his devil fruit ability and submerged into the ground. Chapter 119, The Power of Awakened Devil Fruit. Not bothering about what happened to the other Don Quixote pirates, Blaze charged at Doflamingo. If he wanted, he could finish Doflamingo with a single strike, but what's fun in that? First, he just wants to enjoy the battle. Second, he wants to see the latter reveal the awakening abilities of his devil fruit. Overheat. Suddenly, Doflamingo fired a thick rope made of condensed strings from his palm and whipped at him. The whip glowed in fiery orange and exuded high amounts of heat. Playing with fire before me. Is he an idiot? Blaze caught the whip effortlessly with his left hand and yanked it. Unforeseen, Doflamingo was pulled along with the whip before he could end the contact. Pulling his right hand back, Blaze coated them with haki and punched when Doflamingo was drawn near. The punch landed squarely on the latter's face. Though Doflamingo was quick to react and coated the point of contact with haki, he was still smashed. His figure blasted far away and crashed into the nearby town, wrecking all the buildings. Fortunately, the residents were vacated by Guillaume and others, otherwise they would have been implicated by the collision. Spitting the blood in his mouth, Doflamingo rose to his feet. He looked beaten with half-destroyed glass and blood at the corner of his lips. Everything that happened from his childhood till now flashed before his eyes. Just as he reached the final step, a marine came out of nowhere to stop him. He could picture everything he built crumbling before his very eyes. Doflamingo clenched his fist while the veins protruded on his forehead. No can stop me from achieving what I want. Raising his head, he saw Blaze's figure approaching fast. Doflamingo swiftly stretched his hands and uttered, "Bullet string." Bundles of strings blasted from his hands at extreme speed as if it was fired a machine gun. Are you seriously attacking me with such crappy attacks? Blaze taunted and effortlessly parried the string bullets with his right arm. 5 color strings. Doflamingo quickly changed his attack and 5 colored strings like a rainbow came out of his hand and slashed at Blaze. Blaze once again dodged the attack and sent a high-speed kick while the latter responded the same with his favorite move, athlete. Unlike before, Doflamingo put an immense amount of haki in the attack as it overflowed. Boom! Their strikes collided, the force from each kick exerted into one another, striving to win. Ultimately, the strike expelled outward into a loud, powerful shockwave that dispersed in all directions. After the collision, Doflamingo distanced himself from Blaze by leaping backward and gazed at the latter, breathing lightly. Exerting a huge amount of haki into the kick drains his haki reserve. Come on, Doflamingo. Is this all you got? If it is, I am disappointed. Blaze shook his head. Doflamingo knew if it goes on like this, he may be taken down in a few moves. Since it came to this, he knew he has no choice but to reveal it. Ever white. Crouching to the ground, he touched the ground with his hands, which turned the entire surrounding into innumerable strings. The power of devil fruit awakening. Amazing! Blaze muttered, staring at the sea of string before him. Doflamingo then condensed the vast amount of string from Everwhite into countless sharp points infused with armament hockey that glowed in dark purple. Without wasting any time, he shot the points towards Blaze in the form of spread wings. Excited, Blaze activated his observation hockey and faced the incoming attack. Nearly 1,000 strings imbued with hockey bombarded him from all sides. Discerning that he can't dodge all the attacks, he coated his entire body with hockey and confronted it head-on. The endless strikes pushed him back a little by little. If he wants, he could easily avoid the attacks or use his devil fruit power to burn these things to ashes. But he wants to feel it, the power of awakened devil fruit. Concentrating a little, he let hockey surge throughout his body and blew it outward, forming an invisible shield that blocked most of Doflamingo's attacks. Even so, some of the sharp strings penetrated the hockey cover and grazed his body. Blaze had to admit, the awakened power is simply amazing. At the same time, he also sensed Doflamingo has exerted a huge amount of hockey in these strings. It's understandable since his hockey attribute is just at the initial stage of the 50, while Doflamingo's awakened devil fruit ability should be equal to that. Compared overall, Doflamingo's strength should be at the middle stage of the Yonko commander. If Law hadn't injured Doflamingo, he doubts Luffy would have defeated him with just his gear 4th. Well, it's time to end it. Dragging this any longer will definitely bore me. Blaze mused as he already experienced the power of awakened devil fruit. Thinking through, Blaze clenched his fist while the temperature around the surroundings began to soar. The countless amount of strings created by Everwhite exhibited signs of crumbling and melting. Doflamingo knitted his brows and quickly coated the strings around him with hockey and summoned 16 thick, sharp, hockey-infused bundles of string. If Blaze isn't wrong, it's Doflamingo's ultimate move, God Thread, that he used finally against Luffy. Golden flames flared and orbited around him. With a thought, the flames gathered on his hand. Blaze then harnessed a huge amount of hockey into the flames and punched. Bang! The space itself shook as the column of golden flames blasted from his fist and drove forward. In the meantime, Doflamingo cast the 16 God Thread that he formed towards Blaze. Both the forces collided in mid-air, freezing the time itself. Everything else quiets down for a second before erupting into a tremendous shockwave while the clouds split, shooting royal purple lightning ripples in all directions. Not even a fraction of a second passed, but Blaze's golden fist shattered and melted Doflamingo's thread like it was nothing and smashed him into the ground. Chapter 120, End of Don Quixote Pirates. In the distance, King Riku and his confidants felt the intensity of the battle from the powerful shockwaves that swept past them earlier. They don't know what's happening, but if it goes on, it will affect the residents present on the island. What's happening there? This level of battle, I am afraid not even Dressrosa will hold for long. I told you guys before, if Blaze-san isn't careful, the entire island will be destroyed. Regis shrugged with a slight smile on his lips. Guion shook her head. She could tell Blaze's strength has possibly reached the level of admirals. The kind of strength that she yearns to achieve. As for Rosinante, he gazed into the far distance with a complicated expression. Doflamingo is his brother, but his heart has sided with evil. There's no return from that. As dusk descended, the cold breeze swept the Dressrosa. The entire battle ended within half an hour. Doflamingo lay nearly dead in deep crater with blood flowing from his orifices. The punch crushed him completely while the high temperature from the flames scorched his innards. If not for him protecting his body with hockey, he would have been vaporized by the blow. Though he was conscious, he can't move a muscle. He knew he's not dead because the other party didn't plan to kill him. Blaze didn't care about Doflamingo, as he was busy looking into the system reward. As soon as he defeated Doflamingo, the system notification sounded in his ears. Defeated Don Quixote Pirates. Reward, plus 1.0 Constitution, plus 1.0 Devil Fruit, plus 1.0 Hockey, plus 1.0 free attribute point. The reward is pretty generous for taking down the heavenly demon. Blaze whistled and checked the status panel. Name, Blaze Hunt. Occupation, Marine. Constitution, 63.1. Devil Fruit, 53.5. Hockey, 52.6. Free attribute point, 7.0. Before this fight, Blaze thought of raising his Devil Fruit attribute to 60, but now, he had a change of mind. He couldn't choose between Hockey and Devil Fruit attribute. True, his Devil Fruit abilities are insanely powerful, but at the same time, one's Hockey is equally important. Unlike Devil Fruit, Hockey is one's own power. Right now, even if he wants, he can't boost his Hockey attribute to 60 as he misses another 0.4 points. Since Blaze also isn't in a hurry to improve his strength immediately. He thought he would decide later and put it in the back of his mind. He called Guillaume and went to check Doflamingo. The latter was conscious, but he was in no state to move his lips. He left, leaving a simple sentence. "We will talk later." Blaze then checked the other Don Quixote pirates. Aside from Senior Pink, the others were mostly unconscious or heavily injured. As for Senior Pink, he didn't escape using the opportunity as his character is like that. Within 5 minutes, Guillaume, Regis, Rosinante, and other Marines came while King Riku and his guards accompanied them. Noticing the destroyed city, Deep Carter, and the scorched ground, they took a deep breath. They wondered, what kind of battle has taken place here? Looking at Regis, Blaze commanded. "Regis, cuff them with sea stone. Apart from 2 people, all of them are Devil Fruit users. And also, be careful." Yes, Regis left with Rosinante and other Marine soldiers. "Why did you even bring me along with you? You alone finished them all." Guillaume rebuked in a fake tone. Blaze smiled and spoke, "Notify the headquarters we have captured the Don Quixote pirates and tell them to send a battleship." Okay. At that moment, King Riku, Viola, and others came over to thank him. "Thank you, young Marine. We are deeply grateful for what you have done." "No problem. It's my duty." Only then Blaze noticed small creatures, big enough to fit in one's palm, around King Riku. He saw some familiar faces among them. Next, King Riku hosted a banquet for them. Of course, Blaze didn't refuse since he's starving very much. He also met Kairos, Scarlet, and baby Rebecca during the feast. After an hour, Blaze and Guillaume said goodbye to King Riku and came to the port area where Regis and Rosinante kept the Don Quixote pirates locked with seastone inside a house. The first thing he noticed is Rosinante's downcast expression. He went over and asked, "What happened, Rosinante? Had a chat with your brother?" "Yes." Patting his shoulder, Blaze spoke. "It's not your fault that Doflamingo is like that. Unlike you, he thinks of himself as noble, someone above everyone else. No matter what you do, you can't change it. I knew that's why I joined the Marine and decided to take him down by myself." Rosinante lighted a cigarette and breathed. "Now, I have no regrets." Good. Blaze then went inside the house to have a little chat with Doflamingo himself. Doflamingo was locked in a separate room with a lot of chains and seastone cuffs. He was still conscious, even with all the injuries. Blaze knew he won't die with the level of injury. "Fufufufufu, cough, cough, you are a strange man, aren't ya? I don't get why the man of such caliber joined the Marines. You're strong will shows you're someone with ambition." Blaze praised Doflamingo in his mind for his extreme perception. Whatever your ambition is, the world government won't allow it. Once your power and influence reach a certain stage, they will come for you. Fufufufu, I think the future is going to be interesting. I didn't come here to listen to your speech. I knew you will eventually come out, but remember, if you touch Dressrosa again, I will come for your head. I won't show mercy the next time." Saying this, Blaze left the room. There's a reason why he left Doflamingo alive. He wants to see how his action will affect the future, whether it's good or bad. Maybe he will once again be defeated by Luffy in the future. Let's wait and see. After an hour, 2 Marine battleships came to transport Doflamingo. Vice Admiral Tsuru came personally to escort the Heavenly Demon. As for what happens from now on, Blaze doesn't care. He has done his part. That wraps up this part of What If Transmigrated into One Piece and became a Marine. Thanks so much for listening. As always, new parts drop every 4 days, so be sure to stay tuned. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and please consider supporting the original author as well. See you in the next one.